Good morning. Thank you so much for choosing the national broadcaster. My name is Sandra Kahunde, coming to you live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue. Pleasure to have your company as we start off this lovely week and enjoy the month of August as far as 2023 is concerned. Well, this is what we do every Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. We celebrate the women. Well, today we're privileged. It's a pleasure for us to be hosting remarkable women from the coffee business. They'll be letting us know how they sort the businesses and sharing with getting to know their expertise and experience, the journey. I'm sure we're going to learn lots of things to do with coffee, knowing each and every corner as far as the Pearl of Africa is concerned. We've been reminded coffee is of importance, not only when it comes to our diet, but also earning as far as the economic development of the nation is concerned. Well, today is a special yet again in a way. I am having a co-host on the show.
Good morning, our dear viewers. You're welcome to today's show of Women in ICT. And my name is Grace Juhema, and I'm going to be co-hosting alongside Sandra. Yeah. And as she prepares to introduce our guests, I'd like to say thank you to you, our dear viewer, for always joining us every Monday to Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m. It is always a pleasure being with you as we celebrate women. Thank you, Sandra.
Well, that's what was really great. Grace has welcomed a great audience who make it a point to join us every morning. It is women. Wherever you place them, you can expect the best in each and every field. Well, today I'm going to introduce my panel shortly. Like earlier on said, today we're talking about coffee. I'm having Sandra Kahunde. She's the CEO of Janam Spices, and she's just next to Grace. And next to me, I'm having Gift Ahumza, an assistant accountant of Volcano Coffee Limited. Let me start next to me. Ahumza, how are you doing? Good. She's called Gift.
Good, how are you doing?
A beautiful name, eh?
Thank you.
A gift to the nation and, of course, embracing coffee. Tell us more about you and Volcano Coffee.
My name is Gift Ahumza. I'm working with Volcano Coffee as an assistant accountant and a barista. So we do roasting and grinding and packaging and export coffee. Yes.
Okay, that's Gift for you this morning. And Sharina is just next to Grace. Sharina, how have you been?
I'm good.
Good to have you this morning.
Thank you so much. I'm humbled. Thank you so much, UBC. And to all the viewers, good morning. My name is Sharina Awori. I am the CEO Janam Coffee, Spices and Herbs. We deal in value addition for our spices, the indigenous spices that everyone knows, the usual turmeric, ginger, and all that. But we patronize coffee because that's where I come from. So personally, I've been a barista. I joined this industry as a barista in 2019. So I worked for a couple of coffee shops. Then I upgraded to a coffee roaster. Then I traveled and gained more experience. So when I came back to Uganda, I just realized I can start up something which is called value addition on coffee, because coffee is not all about what people consume in the cups, but there is more to what we can do for our coffee. And right now I'm enrolled in a skincare beauty formulation class so that I can add value to our coffee to produce natural and organic products.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Grace.
Yeah, so I know you've been in this business for like some time, so I know you know what you're talking about. So when you talk about Janam Spices, like what are we talking about exactly?
When you talk about Janam Spices, it is about the usual things we use at home, the usual spices, ginger, turmeric, coffee. There are so many. But we dry.
Uganda is blessed as a nation. That's what we should put
so
it.
the Pearl of Africa. All these spices that we have can be dried. The fact that we dry them, we've already added value to them. So you store them. You don't need to add any chemicals, nothing. You can just add value and sell to a client. So period. That's it. We have our coffee. We roast it and pack it. No chemical added. We get the ginger, the turmeric, hibiscus, cloves. We add value to them by packing them systematically in a proper manner, branding it, because people need to know the story. When you are into the coffee industry, you will realize we tell stories when you take a cup of coffee, you tell a story like, is this specialty coffee? Is this a single origin cup of coffee? Where does it hail from? Is it from Bale, Kapchora, Masaka? You tell a story. So we tell stories, we add value, and
not just enjoying and sipping, but at least every sip counts.
We are storytellers.
Every sip tells a story.
Exactly.
And I love the way you talk about the different regions. Grace, I think, has a more.
So I want you to like tell us one of the memorable stories that you have had in your journey as a coffee person, as a barista. Yes.
That's a tricky one. But I would love to speak about let me talk about my experience when I traveled. It kills me to know that Uganda has some of the best coffee in regards to Arabica and Robusta. But when you move out of the country, for example, where I was working in Kuwait, and best-selling coffees were from Brazil. We had the Brazil Diamond, the Ethiopian Idido, and there was some other brand. So I kept looking for our coffee, the Ugandan coffee, and I could not get it. But they could tell this story, you could understand. You're like, why are we consuming so much Brazilian coffee, so much Kenyan coffee, Ethiopian? It's because of how they've marketed themselves out there. Yes, we may have good products, but if we don't go out there, no one is going to know about them because of the bureaucracy. I tried actually exporting some Ugandan coffee to Kuwait. Unfortunately, the fee of exportation is quite higher than a kilo of coffee. Yes. So I failed. So so if I'm telling a coffee story, unfortunately, if you're abroad, you would tell a coffee story of a different country than a Ugandan coffee story. Yeah, that is unfortunate.
So I would like to know, okay, me and the viewers out there would like to know, how do you select the coffee beans to use?
That goes back to the farms, because to just clarify on this, I'm not a coffee farmer.
So I think
that was her
gift. A clarification on that. The balance with the producers and the growers, how do you strike the balance to maintain a relationship, and then that will also enable you to sort the beans like Grace puts it?
Okay, in coffee production there is what we call coffee grading. So there are coffee graders. Before bringing coffee to the market, you have to first grade it, and after harvesting a coffee, before you put it on sunshine to get dried, you have to first grade it. Like you put it in a container, in a drum full of water. Then this bad coffee will float. A bad coffee will float. Then the good one will remain down. Then after, there is what we call pulping, what we call hulling. After all those processes, there is something they use for grading. They put that coffee, then remove the bad one. Okay, depending on the sizes of the coffee, they remove the bad one. Then the bad one will be put on side, and then the good one will remain on side. That is how, and that coffee will be like, okay, it will not be of the same price. The good one will be of a higher price, and the bad one will be of a lower price.
But so at the end of the day, it is all important. We don't have to throw away the other.
Yes, it is all important, because people, all of us do not have money. Like most of us do not afford the good coffee. But we want to take coffee.
Will the taste stay the same?
No, it will not.
The taste won't stay the same. Okay, so which one is important at the end of the day?
The good quality.
The good quality will be important. Yes, we all want the good quality.
Because it's competitive on the market.
Yes.
Because if I pack my coffee, I buy an AA. Let us use the layman language. I think even in grades in school we have A, B, C, grade A, let's say
first division,
class, second class, third class. So we have for Arabica AA, screen AA, screen AB. You hear people talk about that. In Robusta we can have screen 18, 17, 16. The higher the screen, the better the quality. So if I pack my coffee, I roast my AA, and you find it on the market and a kilo goes for 80,000, the lower quality may be at, let's say, 40,000, because it cannot be competitive like the good coffee.
Okay, I'll just move to Gift once again.
Nice.
The different stages you've been explaining to us, the grading and the clarification coming in from her. There's the roasting. Give us more insight when it comes to the roasting itself, and with the pricing. How does it affect the end result, the end product?
Roasting. They roast the green coffee beans. Okay, you harvest your green coffee beans, then to make it to the point of it being in a cup, you have to first roast it. Like you change the color, it changes the color from green to the profile you want. So after roasting, roasting will give the better quality of the coffee, because you won't know the real quality you have before you roast it. So there is a dark roast, there is medium roast. All those determine the light roast. All those determine, and the one that is always taken in a cup. Most of cafes, used at home, most of them take the medium light. Yes, and then there is one for chewing. I don't know whether you have seen. Yes, there is one for chewing that is light roast, because it doesn't have that. It doesn't have that high acidity ratios. Yes.
So at the end of the day, the roasting really matters when
Yes.
it comes to having the good taste and the aroma.
Yeah.
That's what
Actually,
you also
it starts from, I was clarifying
What
to her
Grace said.
that I'm not a farmer, but since I'm a value additioner to coffee, I must know what happens at the farm when they harvest the red cherries, and then they do the wet parchment, the dry parchment, then the green bean. All that entire process is quality control. We control the quality right from the farm. If the farmer doesn't give you the right coffee beans, you're not going to get the right cup of coffee at the end of the roasting session. So in this industry, we work hand in hand. We work as a team. You don't leave anyone behind. You don't just sit in office and you're like, oh, Sebo, just send me 20 bags of coffee from Bugisu. It doesn't happen that way. You need to know how they harvest. Do they wash? How do they do the whole process up to when we get the green beans on board, so that you will tell your story? Because some people want caffeinated coffee, others don't want. Others want decaf. So even decaf is achieved right from the farm. So in all this entire process, we need the farmers, then the roasters, then the value additioners, the people who pack the coffee in these bags.
Okay. I'm sorry we took you too fast, but I would like you to tell us, you and her, how did you first get interested in coffee? Like, what gave you that feel of, I have to go in coffee business?
Maybe Gift first.
It's okay, whoever wants can go first.
Me, I didn't know much about coffee. So one time we had our neighbor who is working with KDS, these Kampala domestic stores. And then he was like, I want someone, like, I'm looking for people to train as baristas. I was with my sister, he paid for us the fee. So we joined Volcano Coffee Academy, where I'm working right now. So I was there. Okay, I didn't have that morale. So when I was there, we trained as baristas. After training, we were just there. We didn't have jobs and we were just there. So I kept visiting the academy as I learned how to roast without even paying. So I learned how to roast, and now I also do roasting. Though I don't have a certificate, but I can. If someone brings their coffee, I can roast it when the roasters are not around. And that, okay, like I feel proud of that thing. I feel proud because I haven't seen many female roasters. So me, I like doing jobs that are being done by men. So I feel proud of being a roaster and a barista at the same time, and then an accountant. Yes.
So later on you got comfortable.
Yes.
You just used to hang around the academy testing coffee and not having the morale.
Yes.
Amazing.
Wow.
So mine is quite different. I pursued a bachelor's degree in science and urban planning at Makerere. So after graduating, you know how all of us think we're going to get the high job.
Yeah,
Offices,
cool
like
job
you're
when
going
you're
to be
You quickly get into the job market.
yeah, so it wasn't the case. It was not the case, of course. But all of a sudden, there was a gentleman who used to come to my late mom's shop, and he talked about baristas in Dubai. He was like, baristas get a lot of money in Dubai. Like, those are years back. That was about 2019. So I was like, I need money. I need money. So I enrolled for a barista course at Chariots Academy. And by Simon Ochen. Greetings to that gentleman. He's so amazing.
Yeah, good to have men supporting,
Yes.
supporting the women.
So when I joined as a barista, I learned everything very well. So we were competitive on the international market more than Uganda, because typically a barista who is offered 500K here, in UAE you can get 2 million, 1 point something. So you're like, why would I stay here? From that, I got my first consultancy job as a coffee person with my former boss. And then that's where I met Gerald Katabazi, the owner of Volcano Coffee. He's an amazing mentor. He's my mentor in the coffee industry. And when I did the roasting, I went abroad. Reaching there, I just realized, I'm like, first, hold on. How can a cup of coffee cost 20,000 Ugandan shillings? It doesn't happen here. These people never grow coffee. They don't do anything. They just get the exported roasted beans. So the coffee shop I was working for, I called Gerard. I'm like, I think I made a mistake. I would not have come here and all this stuff. Gerard is like, just come back to Uganda and do your thing. You know, he's one person who will tell you you can touch the sky by just jumping up. Gerard is so amazing. So when I came back, Gerard is so supporting. The roastery is there. We started packing our coffee. We exchanged so many ideas, and then Janam Coffee was birthed. And I don't regret. It's challenging. It's you learn and relearn, but it's something worth doing. So that's how I joined the coffee industry, and we keep going.
So this coffee business, this Janam Spices of yours, is it like based online, or it is physical? You like take to the people and bring it to them, like specifically, like when they call, or?
We do both.
You also do online?
Yeah, we have a store, we have online, we have a website. We do market days with Volcano Coffee. Actually, we are inviting the women you host here in case you have a business. We have the coffee market days that happen every last Saturday of the month.
It is not about
So it's not about
any
coffee,
business.
any business.
So the market days, you know what would bring it? Someone would quickly figure out the market days in clothes.
Yeah.
No, that's it. That's what we wanted. So even if you have your clothes, your crochet, your what, we pinch in the coffee. We force you to take that coffee. In the morning, the breakfast is a cup of coffee. The roastery is there. So people need to learn this culture of coffee. When you go to, because the UAE is what I know, that's where I've been. Even a 6-year-old would ask for a cappuccino. It doesn't happen here. Even a 7-year-old will ask for an iced latte, an iced Spanish latte, an iced Americano. It's amazing. It's beautiful. But when you check the pack of coffee, it's coming from Kenya, Uganda, Brazil. They don't grow coffee, but we grow coffee, and you're asking for plain water in a restaurant.
for black tea.
Warm water.
You're asking for warm water, asking for black tea at the end of the day.
No.
And they say coffee is sour. Here they say coffee is sour.
Okay, so we really need to excite the Ugandans. I know it's for all of us. Something else. What role does the community play when it comes to your business? Now that you're calling upon all the women out there and the fellow Ugandans to embrace this coffee as well. What role? What more do you expect, or what role does the community play in your business?
Is it me?
Volcano Coffee. Has the community embraced you? The fact that you're calling for more more Ugandans to embrace the coffee itself? Have you gotten support from the community, the stakeholders? What are your thoughts? Is there like a lot that has to be done for the Ugandans to embrace coffee?
I may say we have gotten some help from the community. Like we work with PSFU. Like these big companies have tried to order for coffee, like in big bunches, and that is supportive. And then there is some other big company, like it funds businesses, funds people's businesses, PSFU, UNDP, yes.
At least they've helped your businesses
Yes.
get to another level.
Yes.
And then the customer embracing. The customers, what is the response from the customers? Should I say the Ugandans?
For me, from Janam Coffee, Spices and Herbs point of view, because I may not be able to speak on behalf of anyone selling coffee, but the community, when it comes to coffee, you have to, there is a Luganda saying of business, Jikuba abantu maso bajimanye.
Yes.
So if you don't talk about it, trust me, you're not going to make sales. The sales I've made in church, it's when I meet like people like, yeah, we sell coffee, Janam coffee is available, 10,000, 20,000. So someone will be like, okay, bring me a pack. That's when you go on Facebook and post. That's when you're on TikTok and you post. Like all my social medias, I use them to talk about my business, because what else do I have to offer? I'm not going to talk about my personal life. It doesn't add anything to someone who is following me, but maybe how I do business could help. And then personally, it's the community, the energy you give the community is what they're going to give you back. If you sit down and think Ugandans are going to take coffee, yet they have their myths, some of them have their myths about coffee, then you're not going to make any sale. Some people do not even have an idea we have decaffeinated coffee, because they had an excuse that coffee is caffeinated. So here we are. We have decaf. Can you please buy a pack? So you tell them. There was a time I went to an office for Germans in Kololo, and they gave me some packed non-coffee, but people think it's coffee, imported. So I told the gentleman, I don't take this. This is not coffee. So I was like, no, this is best quality. I told him I'm going to bring you quality coffee. So when I brought coffee to their office, they were so happy about the quality. And up to now, I still supply to them. So the community needs this awareness. It's us to become ambassadors. We don't even have to wait for the president. We don't have to wait for the ministers, because they have so much to do. You have to start with the little people you access, the little people you talk to. Before you know it, you have a full contact list. Business can move on. Talk to everyone. Just talk to everyone. Even if someone doesn't drink coffee, you just keep pressing. Like, take some coffee. Take some coffee. They will take.
I know, I love that.
Yeah.
I love the energy that is coming through. For those of you who have just joined us, we're here to celebrate the women, and today's topic focus is to do with women in the coffee business. My name is Sandra. Sharina is here to inspire us, and I'm having a co-host. Grace is also joining us. I love the energy that is coming through from Janam Spices.
Yeah.
Any more that you have to?
I would. Okay. Have you like? Are there any practices that you have put up so that the Janam Spices keeps sustained? It does not like fade in future.
You know.
Taste and preferences. There's
It's
a lot.
like-
There's a lot
like-
that
It's like
evolves
how
around.
we give birth to children, and you're like, my child will not die.
Yeah.
However much you take care of them, if it's meant to be, it will be. But of course, everyone starts their business to see something good in it. Sometimes it's not even about so much money. But first of all, Janam Coffee, Spices and Herbs try so much to focus on quality control. I would wish to sell my pack of coffee at 100,000 shillings a kilo, but I'm sure it's the best quality. Maybe it's a single origin or it's specialty coffee. I'll do anything to make sure I've packed the best green bean on the market, because we know you can, for people who take coffee, they know we have procedures. There is capping. You can even see the green bean, or if you're able to work with the farmers right from the garden to the green bean, then you can get the best bean. You roast it, pack it, quality control. We do what we can. We all do what we can.
Gifts, how do you maintain the taste? to keep your customers,
Yes.
to keep them coming to Volcano Coffee?
Maintaining the taste. First, we have our own roastery. So we roast it depends on the profile the customer wants. Sometimes the customer will order for coffee and then you have the dark roast, yet they want a light roast. So if they order, you ask them the profile they want, whether it's a light roast, you roast for them, and then it will go when it is fresh. So we give out the fresh coffee, not the one for 1990. We cannot sell that.
Or maybe the more it stays, it could be like wine.
Yes.
The more it stays,
No,
the more it doesn't work that way.
No,
It doesn't.
It should be fresh.
What are some of those, the origins or the regions that you particularly want to work with, or maybe that is a particular coffee that you tend to usually get? What are those regions? Or maybe origins? Earlier on you did explain, Sharon, that from Mbale, it is different from the different regions. Which regions can you cite out?
Mbale, Gishu region, it's not even about me. It has the best Arabica. And Uganda itself has the best Robusta. Like, it's the best Robusta I've tested. I've not tested any other coffee. People talk about these things, but you should get time.
You're not saying this because you're
I'm not saying this
Ugandan.
because I'm Ugandan, but I can also be able to say that because I'm Ugandan.
Yes.
But for Arabica, I would give a hands
stand
up
out.
to
Yes, Mbale.
Bugisu region. Then for Central Masaka, they have amazing Robusta. Yeah, but it depends. Every farmer has a way of maintaining the quality, because if you have your own farm and you've invested in so much money, you can be able to get the best seedlings, and then it depends on the altitude. So coffee is like a baby that's well taken care of, and the more your coffee trees mature, the better the quality. So people know which altitude to plant Arabica and which altitude they can plant Robusta. So you don't just wake up and say, I'm going to put these kind of trees here. No. Everything is just documented, well researched. You can check out on UCDA page. You can Google, do your research, and then you know this area fits this kind of coffee, and this one fits this. So.
Oh, I have another question. Earlier on, she mentioned that she likes doing jobs which are meant for the men.
I know.
So in this country we are in, traditionally, some jobs are meant for the men. So how do you feel? Like, are there the challenges you've met during this encounter with the men, the industry which is engulfed by men? Like, are there any challenges you've met?
Because at least Sharon has got support from, you said he's called Jerome?
Gerald Katavaz.
Yeah.
Gerald has given the pot to Sharon.
Yeah.
Tell us about your story, like Grace Port
Okay.
said.
Sometimes someone brings coffee for roasting, and then when they find you and you say you can roast for them, they will say, no, you cannot. You're going to spoil my coffee. Like, it is going to get damaged, or you're going to over roast it. It's like you cannot touch on my coffee. Yes.
Because you're putting on skirts, eh?
We are putting on trousers. Anyways, I think that's just a by the way. But when you look back into, because like my history goes back to being a barista. So in coffee we tell so many stories. Just forgive me. Let me tell this story.
Tell your story.
Oh my, you're going to make us look for coffee as soon as
Yes,
we are
you
done
have
with this
to.
show.
By the time I leave here, I'll leave a pack of coffee for you.
Beautiful.
When we talk about coffee, and we as women, I'm not going to say we pretend, but women have this kind of thing of like, oh, we need the men to hear us. We need the men to do this. No, we have some of us have the mental toughness in us. When you look back in history of coffee in the 20th century, the women made made things happen. We learn about a lady called Melita. So this goes back to the coffee equipment gift, you know this. The coffee equipment called a Melita was discovered by a lady called Melita. She was a housewife, and she didn't love the taste of coffee. So she got a drip equipment and a cup, and got his son's paper. Then he made a filter. As we speak right now, we have an equipment called Melita. That was a lady. Even way back in those first centuries, we have a lady called Alice, the first roaster in New York. She was a lady, it was not a gentleman. Even when you go back to the term specialty coffee, it was a lady who came up with. Women are naturally people who love good things. They give birth, we nurture. So all these new things you're seeing, you'll be surprised. It's us, the women, the few women in the industry. This industry has so many men. But the few women that are in this industry, the Sherinas, the Aworis, we should be able to give birth to things that men, for example, the gentleman on the camera. Do you think he has a skincare routine as a gentleman?
We need to ask NASA.
Yeah, he can let us know.
NASA will let us know.
You know, but as Sherina Awori, I know that I need to keep my skin younger. I'm getting to 30, but so I need to keep my skin younger.
Seriously?
Yes, I'll be able to, instead of consuming a cup of coffee, I thought of making...
So the trick or the secret, the recipe is within the coffee.
Exactly.
You're going to make us come
the
and
blood circulation, you know, the caffeine in coffee, you have to take advantage of this. Women, I'm giving you tips. Now listen, if you cannot take coffee, there is decaffeinated coffee. Because the caffeine content in coffee can play around with our estrogen in women, so we can get certain health conditions. But if we don't consume that coffee, we can use it on our skins through lotions, scrubs, serums. Trust me, you don't need to.
There's even a coffee yogurt.
We can do so many things.
The women are doing so many
women,
things.
let's do these
with
things.
Coffee.
The men are still asleep. Let's do these things. Let's launch our products. They will buy. And the funny thing is, when we invent, they buy.
They buy.
Yeah, the ones who are going to buy
They
at the
are
end of the
quick to
day.
buy. They have the money.
Please support us, men.
will
We need your
support
support. What are some of those brewing methods that you'd share with your coffee varieties? If we were to discuss the brewing, there's very many.
There's so many. The gifts of this world brew every day.
They brew every day. Please tell us some of the brewing methods. You added on, you did mention lots of equipment and the different grading. Yeah?
There are over 20.
The stages.
More than 20 coffee equipment. Because we have the espresso machines, the common machines in the coffee shops, the Melitas, Calitas, V60.
All available in Uganda?
Chemex. Yes, even if you don't get it here, you can import. It's not that costly, but they are all available. The French press,
The AeroPress.
the AeroPress. There are so many. There are so many.
So there are lots of brewing methods one can use.
Yes.
And you talked about the equipment. You can easily access them.
Yes, you
at
can
affordable
access.
prices.
Like a French press.
Depending on the equipment you want.
Yeah.
Because we want the women to have a conducive environment. You are the right place. You are the national broadcaster. Please air out your issues.
Seriously? But women, why do you do those things?
We want them to have a conducive environment and do coffee.
Yeah, you can, for example, if you own a cafe or a place where you sell coffee, you can buy an espresso machine, a single, how is it called? The one with the single portafilter, single group head, maybe between 3 to 5 million shillings. And then I've seen a very small one, I think it's domestic for office. You can buy that at 500,000. I've seen them on the market, but I've never used. Then when you go down with the Chemex V60s, French press, even for as low as 50,000 for the French press, they're available in supermarkets. You buy your medium coarse grind coffee. You just brew your coffee at home, your comfort. Then you just take a cup of coffee. Stop taking coffee with sugar. What? Just take a cup of coffee and get the health benefits from that cup of coffee. No one's
So what happens when you put coffee? It's too much or it loses the taste?
When you put what?
When you put the
sugar in the coffee.
it loses meaning.
Loses meaning.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like how-
it loses meaning. Like it is no longer coffee. You're taking
It's
like
sweet.
this black
Tea.
tea.
It's like how a doctor tells you to detoxify in the morning, take cucumber and lemon juice, and then you add 2
You
spoons
add
of sugar.
Yes.
Hey, okay.
Okay, you're going to be taking the aroma of coffee,
That's
but
a
not
great example.
But
Yeah.
not the coffee.
but
Yeah.
not the coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to drink for some people, but at least
They should try.
at least try that, please. I know some people never take it without,
And
but
the best time, anytime is coffee?
anytime is coffee
Coffee
time.
time.
If you say that you don't sleep because of caffeine, there is decaffeinated coffee. There are no excuses now.
Yeah.
With this technology, there are no excuses. You take coffee through thin and thick. Yes.
Me, I have a question for the both of you. Are there any people who have helped you and you know like this person has really shaped me to become the person I am like today, that has pushed me into the coffee business? Like, are they there and you'd like to say thank you to them?
For me,
Spread some love.
for me it's Gerard Katawazi. I know he's watching.
Hey.
Because, yes, he
Salute to
calls me
you.
a champion. And yeah, Mr. Gerard Katawazi, the founder of Volcano Coffee. To any coffeepreneurs, people who want to join the industry, like to me, he's the best candidate. Gerard is an open-minded person. Gerard is someone who will push you beyond your limit. It will be like you're a champion, like you can do this. Gerard has made me do things you people. Gerard is someone who will tell you you're going to the UK to US to speak about coffee. I don't have a visa yet, but he will program your mind, and then you're like, yes, by the way, I'm a star, I'm a champion. So to the Gerards of this world, there are so many people there. I don't think there are so many, but there are few people. You have to look for them. They don't have to look for you. Fix time, go talk to them, have lunch with them, have breakfast. They have so much. Gerard has over 10 years experience in this industry. So if he tells you something, trust me, it is what it is. He has seen everything. He has been there. He has been young like us. Now he's grown up. So to me, he's my mentor in this industry.
Okay, gift. Would you love to add a voice to that?
Yes.
Yes, please do.
And first of all, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Peter Mugaga, who introduced me to the coffee industry. We are not related, but he just paid our tuition for the being baristas, me and my sister. I would like to say thank you to my younger sister, the one I started with, because I would chop classes. Like I never had that much. Yes, I would chop classes, and she would be like, "You come and we go to study." Like the man has paid his money.
So she would say,
Yes.
like, please just come.
Yes, the man has paid his money. He facilitates us. He has given us transport. Like, why don't you want to come and we go?
And you want to pull your blanket.
Yes.
Seriously.
And then I met Mr. Gerard, my boss. He is always like, "You're going to speak about coffee."
Yeah.
Like, I
Every
know
day.
nothing about coffee. Like, what do you want me to speak? Even this time, he said, "Tomorrow you're going to UBC, you're going to speak about coffee."
That's how Gerard is.
And then Ibrahim Taremo, he's our roaster, he's our coffee roaster. He just goes and then someone brings coffee and I'm like, "Ibra, where are you? Someone has brought coffee." Wabukora nawe. So roasting, you can roast it. And I'm like, which profile does he take? You ask him.
No excuses. You have to go for it.
Yes. So I'm really grateful to the world. And then my parents at home, they are always pushing me to be the best.
At least let's have their names. The parents are watching. Gift is sending you greetings.
My dad, Mr. Usinje Henry, and then my mom, Luhuchere Peace. Yes, I'm really grateful.
Wow.
Okay, that's amazing. Well, Sharon, moving to you. What advice would you share with someone who's watching that would also want to venture, would want to do something that is related to the coffee, they want to venture in there? What advice would you share with them?
My best advice would be, in most cases, we have to listen to our inner self. Is it called the inner person in you? There is something that tells you, do this, you can do this, but you have to leave your comfort zone. There are so many people who are comfortable where they are, but you're not going to see results if you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. So you have to, my dad is among the people who are so amazing in my life. He always tells me, if you get an opportunity to learn something, learn, because no one is going to take away that knowledge, that skill from you. So if you feel like you want to join the industry, start, do your research, enroll for a barista course. They are not that expensive, because you can start with the basic course like 500,000 for like a month or two. Learn these things. By the time you talk to someone about coffee, you know what you're talking about. You're not gambling. I see so many people, I get shocked, like on Twitter, someone tweets about something about coffee, and I'm left wondering, like, did they get time to do some research and provide correct information? So you have to listen to the person within you, because we only know what we want. We here, everyone knows what they want personally. So I'm not going to tell you, oh, please just do this. People will bring in their ideas, but if you're stuck to what you want, you will try it, fail, try again, fail, do it, then all of a sudden it will come up. People who have made it in life, they've failed like so many times, but they never gave up. Who am I not to fail?
We didn't get your dad's name.
It's Mr. John Bosco Odo. Are you serious?
Yeah, we are giving a thank you to the men out there.
Oh my God, he's an amazing man. He's an amazing man. He's like a Gerard of this nation. Dad will tell you, you're going to make. There was something like he always tells you, you're going to make like sales of 100 kilos. I'm like, how am I going to sell 100 kilos in a month? But he's like, just stick to that. You're going to, you wait, you'll be on UBC, then you'll go to these international TVs. It's like, he will push you. He's like, you have to do this. Just wake up in the morning, go and do these things. So we appreciate you. You're amazing people. You're amazing.
Wow.
Lastly, for my last question to the both of you, I'd like to know those challenges you guys have faced. Yeah, the viewer out there needs to know.
There's falling and getting up, falling and getting up. I know it's never a smooth journey.
It's never. For me, I'm an independent businesswoman. I hear people talk about how they get funding from the government, how the 9 billions came out for coffeepreneurs. I'm like, how, when? So personally, it goes back to the funding and the competition, because there are already established companies that have the same product that I'm selling. So that is first-hand competition. Then there is the funding, but the biggest obstacle I'm facing as Janam is the bureaucracy in getting certified and registering your company, settling up everything with UNBS. It is like a whole nightmare. And yet you need all these certifications to get going, because even if we are working for our local market, we need our product certified. Someone who buys a certified product is happier. They're like, oh wow, UNBS certified this. So for us who are startups, all new in the business, it is quite a big challenge, because we've not yet established like big workspaces, industries, stuff like that. So we get a big challenge, yet we have nearly the best quality products, but certifying your product and putting it on the shelves, that's nearly impossible. So right now I'm doing B2B online, and if you pass by the store, that's when you can access my product. And yet I want to see them everywhere. I want to have an outlet in Gulu, I want to have an outlet in Masaka, in PG, everywhere, all over Uganda, before I even look for market abroad. So personally, those are the challenges I'm facing.
Moving to you, some of the unique challenges that affected you also.
I think I'm going to talk on behalf of my sister. My sister has her own brand called Sonam Coffee and Juice.
Yeah.
So my sister is always there. She gets orders from men, and then the men say, you bring the coffee to my home, at my home place. I'm going to bring it, and we meet somewhere, and then I give it to a judge guy, and he delivers, and the person says, no, you just bring it to my home. And then I think she faces challenges of capital. Like she at times lacks capital, the certification thing. Her coffee is not certified. You can be a certificate, and yes.
So how is the future? How do you anticipate the future away from all the struggles that you've explained to the viewer?
Of course, with the you know stubborn people, when you're stubborn, you don't just give up like that. When I read about people who have made it in different industries, they don't start like in a year or 6 months they're already certified and what. No, it's not a green carpet, a red carpet. It is hard work, it is persistence, it is too much hard work, too much work. I'm not even a quarter of that, maybe. So the future is bright if I stick to this and add extra energy. I put extra energy into what I'm doing right now. I would wake up and I've made some good sales. I can set up a workshop, a decent workshop. I get my goods certified because they are not yet certified, but I know the procedures of getting them certified. So I know how much I need right now. I know what I need. So when I get everything aligned, you'll see them on the shelves being distributed. So we start small. You can supply to the nearby supermarket even before you go to the US. Is your product available at your local supermarket? Can someone in Nigeria who has been putting in money for the delivery access it at their supermarket? Someone in Masaka, can they get the product? That is the main goal. Then I can grow bigger and bigger. So the future is bright. The future is bright.
Okay, at least I love the optimism. The ladies are optimistic when it comes to anticipation as far as the future of coffee is concerned in our region, Uganda. Few minutes left for us before we let you go and let the ladies enjoy their day. She talked about Market Day, not about the merchandise or the clothes on the streets, the street selling that we normally go out for. Yes, we go sightseeing and you want the discounts to come through just to enjoy the display. Grace, will you go for the Market Day? Last Saturday.
I think
last Saturday of the month. How does it happen?
The coffee.
It's actually the 26th of this month. We invite everyone with their different businesses. We meet at Nakawa, just next to the petrol station Total. That is where Volcano Coffee is. This entire Coffee Market Day Jam, the reason why we gave it that name is to incorporate coffee in it. Even if, because we register people who have tour companies, people who have clothings, but when they come in and experience everything, they're like, so I can have a cup of coffee and life moves on. You know, so
we don't lack sleep.
Yeah, yeah, life has to move on. So we are not going to wait for the president to come and tell us consume coffee. What have you started up as an entrepreneur before even the government comes in, before even your ambassador or before PSFU comes in, UNDP, USAID? What are you doing? So this initiative was started by Janam Coffee, Volcano Coffee, Chanzo Coffee and Prouse Coffee. Imagine I'm working with 3 gentlemen. I'm the only lady. So the gentlemen in this industry are supportive if you're open-minded, if you're awake, they will help you. They have the money. I told you the men have the money. The men will give you the money. Your job is to think. We converge, we network, we make sales, we take photos, we discuss, and then life moves on.
And it's all about coffee. Well, how can someone find Volcano Coffee, Janam Spices, any socials? You said you're on Twitter, you're all over the place. Gift. How can someone locate you?
Volcano Coffee, we are located in Nakawa, opposite Nakawa Building Park. That tall building behind Total. Yes. Then on Twitter we use Volcano Coffee. Oh, you can meet us through Jared Katavazi. Yes, Jared Katavazi on Twitter. Yes.
And that's it. The world moves on.
Yeah, the world moves on. So for Janam Coffee, Spices and Herbs on Instagram, we are Janam Coffee Uganda. And on Facebook, Janam Coffee, Spices and Herbs. Then on Twitter, I use my handle at Awori Sherina, but on top you'll see Janam Coffee, Spices and Herbs. Or when you want to talk directly to the CEO, you have business, you want to know something, it is at Sherina Awori. Thank you so much.
You bought like a pack or something for display before we leave this place?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to leave this. It would have been a souvenir, but you're going to take it. So this blend, this single origin, sorry, is from Windy, Impenetrable Forest. We work with the gentleman, a farmer who brings coffee from there. So sometimes we pack Arabica from Bugisu, sometimes we get from any part of Uganda. But for this particular one, you're going to have a taste of Kanungu's finest coffee. Then we have our coffee soap and scrub. So these products will be launched very soon from Janam. Please look for me. Just look for me. If you want to keep younger, yes, like you want to beat skin aging,
like worry.
Cellulite, you want to exfoliate, you want to look younger with a natural and organic skincare. We shall be launching this soon. Yes, it's been a privilege being here. I'm so humbled. Thank you so much.
I mean, so that's the soap and?
This is the organic natural coffee soap, and this is the scrub, all made from the coffee.
Okay. Well, Gift here has something to show.
Yeah, this is a Volcano Coffee. Volcano Coffee from Elgon region. It is Arabica, and this is Robusta. For 500 you can take coffee. This is consumed with, in 1 cup. This is consumed in 1 cup, and then here you can take for even a month. 500 you can take coffee. Like if you don't afford this, you can take this.
So there are no excuses.
Yes.
Thanks for accommodating all of us with different pricing. I know. Well, for the viewers been watching, you've had the ladies and great inspiration, and they've given you the socials. Please follow them up and support them. And we salute you at the National Broadcaster for always supporting us each and every single morning, joining us. That is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 10 a.m. up until 11 a.m. Well, for this morning, we had Sherina Awori. She's the CEO, Janam Spices. And we're also joined by Gift Ahomoza, Assistant Accountant of Volcano Coffee Limited. Gift is right here, and Sherina is right at the center. And yes, my name is Sandra Kahunde, and today has been special. I was joined by
Grace Jihembo. Thank you for watching.
Well, that's all we had time for today's episode. Join us once again tomorrow, same time, same place. God bless you. We love you.
UBC